There's a global plastics treaty on the horizon, one that would cut plastic pollution, some hope entirely, by 2040.
For an international legally binding instrument to end plastic pollution.
It's been described by the UN as the most significant Green Deal since the Paris Climate Accord. So what exactly is being proposed? At the recent talks in Paris, around 170 countries agreed to develop a first draft by November of what could become the first global treaty to curb plastic pollution.
Time is short. We need to be bold and innovative and act without delay.
The UN Environment Programme says the equivalent of one garbage truck worth of plastic is dumped into the ocean every single minute. And greenhouse gas emissions associated with plastics are expected to reach 6.5 gigatons by 2050. In May 2023, the UNEP released a blueprint for reducing plastic waste by 80% by 2040. The report outlines 3 key areas of action: reuse, recycling, and reorientation of plastic packaging to alternative materials. But not everyone agrees on how to proceed. Debate is emerging between countries wanting to limit the production of more plastics and the petrochemical industry favouring recycling as the solution to plastic waste. An informal group of countries called the High Ambition Coalition, made up of EU countries, Japan, Chile, and small island nations, is calling for global targets to reduce plastic production and pollution, as well as restrictions on certain hazardous chemicals. Here's the representative from Samoa.
As stewards of the oceans and seas, we reiterate the urgent need for an agreement that is ambitious from the start, comprehensive across the whole life cycle of plastics, addresses legacy plastics in the marine environment, and one that becomes more robust over time.
Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia and the United States favour national plans rather than global targets. Environmental group Greenpeace says these oil-producing countries have not shown enough ambition in curbing plastic waste.
We've heard very low ambition from countries that are oil producers, and of course there are countries that have been influenced by the fossil fuel industry. We would hope that eventually they can decide that people's interest and our environment would be at the core of the treaty, and then they can lay aside their own country's interests for the betterment of everyone.